How many shurikens is too many shurikens? In this build, I'd like to share with you unlimited shurikens on your Stasis Hunter. This build will provide you near endless orbs of power, crowd control, and you get to use the Radiant Dance Machines. Yippee! First off, let's go over what the Radiant Dance Machines actually do. When you're close enough to a target and you activate your dodge ability, you start a period of unlimited dodges. By default, it's 5 seconds. But recently, and by recently I mean maybe like 2 seasons ago, they buffed Radiant Dance Machine so that every time you defeat a target, you extend the duration of your unlimited dodging by 5 seconds, up to 12 seconds, I believe. It's something close to that. So basically what that means is that as long as you're killing things, you could just keep dodging forever. It's great! Let's talk about the things that you care about in your subclass. You definitely want Gambler's Dodge, because that's what's giving you more and more shurikens every time you dodge. For Grenade, I found Duskfield to be really nice just because it has constant damage procs. So there's constant like damage ticks if enemies are inside the grenade field. So it's going to provide you some value if you need to get energy back using stuff like Impact Induction and things like that. For aspects, you definitely want Grim Harvest. The reason why is because you'll be killing lots of slowed and frozen combatants, and therefore you'll be creating lots of shards. The next aspect you want is Touch of Winter, just to boost up your grenade. You might be wondering why not use Winter's Shroud? I mean, wouldn't it be cool that every time you dodge, you just start slowing nearby targets? That seems perfect. Unfortunately, this only works on your first dodge using Radiant Dance Machines. If you try doing unlimited dodges afterwards, they don't proc Winter's Shroud, so it's not nearly as cool as you think, unfortunately. The fragments are all fairly straightforward, and you can probably see very easily why they're helpful for this build. Whisper of Conduction helps the stasis shards track towards you, you'll be dodging a lot, and you'll be just kind of very mobile as you're moving around, so it's kind of nice for the shards to come to you instead of you having to navigate towards the shards. Whisper of Fissure is pretty self-explanatory. You'll be freezing a lot of targets and killing a lot of frozen targets, so increasing the damage and the burst afterwards is kind of nice for the sake of crowd control and controlling a given area. Whisper of Rhyme is super nice because you just get an overshield every time you pick up a stasis shard. We'll be getting lots of stasis shards in this build, so this seems super helpful. Finally, Whisper of Bonds. Defeating frozen targets generates Orb of Power. I've learned recently that this actually has an internal cooldown of 10 seconds, so that means if you kill a frozen target, it generates Orb of Power, and you can't make another Orb of Power until about 10 seconds later. Your mods should look a little something like this. The headpiece is very standard, just use them like a Siphon mod and Ammo Finder mods. The really big thing is on the arms that you want heavy-handed, because it does have an internal cooldown, so not every shuriken kill will give you an Orb of Power. It's about like 3 seconds or so in between, but this should still help overall. Bolstering Detonation is really nice. This means your grenade can also help you with getting class ability energy, so that's really nice. Finally, on the arms, I would also add a Grenade Kickstart as my preferred armor charge consuming mod as well. But this is pretty swappable. If you want, you can also exchange this for Impact Induction if you want to use some surges on your leg piece instead, and that's how you want to use your armor charges. That is perfectly valid too. The chest piece, use whatever you need to use whatever resists for the activity. For your legs, this build actually works pretty well using Elemental Charge. Because you'll have so many stasis shards, you'll be able to get armor charge pretty quickly. And for the class item, I'd say Powerful Attraction is super nice because you will be creating lots of orbs of power and you will be activating your class ability because you're dodging pretty often, so this is a pretty nice touch. I'd also add on Reaper and Bomber to also help with ability regeneration and things like that. Weapon-wise, you're pretty flexible. Most of your damage is probably coming from your shurikens anyway. What I would recommend, and I also playtested this build without using any of the stasis-related artifact mods for this season. There are 2 of them in this season, I believe, and I didn't use any of them just to see how well this build fares, and it still works out okay. But if you feel like you're struggling, I would suggest a stasis weapon that provides headstone or something like that, so this way you can have like stasis crystals and have that synergy going on. But honestly, I didn't find that I really needed it. This build works perfectly okay with whatever weapons you throw at it. And there you have it, Ninja Hunter build. If you want to try out a new playstyle, this certainly is one of the more unique ones in Destiny that has some pretty decent viability. I'll see you guys later, Guardians. Bye-bye!